Imagine two consultants with identical expertise and experience. They offer the same services, get the same results for their clients, and one charges 3 times more than the other one. What's going on here? In this video, we'll examine the surprising cognitive science behind why some consultants charge sky-high fees while others struggle to raise their rates at all. And more importantly, we'll uncover a proven framework to increase your own rates by 50% or more, all without doing any extra work. Get ready to discover the power of perception in premium pricing. So why is it that so many consultants find it hard to raise their fees even as they gain more experience and expertise? It all comes down to a fundamental misunderstanding of how clients perceive and assign value. And this misunderstanding can keep you trapped in a cycle of under-earning and over-delivering. Here's a surprising truth about the consulting world. Getting better at your craft doesn't always translate into charging higher fees. In fact, in many cases, improving your expertise can actually make it harder to raise your rates. As you become more and more familiar with your area of expertise, the things that you're doing that are providing value to your clients become invisible to you. Many of the things you do that are actually the highest value seem like you're not doing anything at all. They're things that you start to be able to do on autopilot without spending any significant effort working on something. The deeper your expertise becomes, the more you risk losing touch with how transformative your insights can be to someone who doesn't share your level of knowledge. And if you can't see and communicate that value, you'll have a really hard time commanding premium fees. The paradox of expertise is just one factor that keeps consultants trapped at a low rate. Another one has to do with how clients form perceptions around price and value. Imagine a company that's been paying a consultant $10,000 a month for years. Then one day, all of a sudden, the consultant announces they're doubling their fee to $20,000 a month for the exact same service. How do you think the company is going to react? Chances are this isn't going to go over well. The company might balk at the increase, questioning whether it's possible that the consultant's value doubled overnight. They might even start looking into cheaper alternatives. This resistance isn't just about sticker shock, it's about a cognitive bias called the anchoring effect. The first price a client sees for something becomes a mental touch point that we judge everything else in relation to. Once that anchor point gets set, it can be very, very difficult to shift it, even as you gain a lot more experience and are able to provide a lot more value. People might be able to tolerate incremental increases on that anchor point, but any really massive change is going to trigger alarm bells in your client's brain. In order to really jump to a higher pricing tier, consultants need to do more than just incrementally improve their service. You need to fundamentally reframe how the client perceives what you're doing. And this requires a deep understanding of the psychology of pricing. So we've seen how the curse of knowledge and the anchor effect can keep consultants' fees artificially low, but there's another common trap that consultants can fall into when trying to justify higher rates, and this can actually backfire and decrease your perceived value. When consultants want to increase their fees, they often default to promising more tangible deliverables. More reports, more meetings, more implementation support. The assumption is that by offering a higher quantity of work, they can justify a higher price. But here's the problem with that approach. It reinforces the very mindset that undermines the value of consulting work in the first place. By tying your fees to deliverables, you're essentially saying that your value is based on the volume of work that you produce, not on the quality of the insights and the expertise that you're able to share. Not only does this mindset commoditize your services, it can also lead to this dangerous cycle of over-delivering and undercharging. If your value proposition is based on doing more, then you'll always feel this pressure to throw in a little extra work to justify your fees, even if that extra work is only adding marginal benefit to the client. The real key to commanding premium fees isn't to do more, it's to shift the client's perception of what they're actually paying for. They're not hiring you for reports or meetings. They're hiring you for your unique ability to solve complex problems and drive transformative results. And that type of value can't be measured in hours or reports or deliverables. So, how do you escape the expertise trap, break through mental price ceilings, and reframe deliverables? It all comes down to mastering the art and science of value perception. You need to be able to shape how clients understand the true worth of your services. Step one in transforming your fee structure is to understand that value is a subjective perception, not an objective fact. It doesn't matter how much blood, sweat, and tears you poured into doing the work. If the client doesn't feel that it's valuable, that's not going to be reflected in your fees. To command premium fees, you need to shift the client's perspective from seeing you as a service provider to seeing you as a trusted advisor. You're not just a hired gun, you're a strategic partner, a thought leader, a change maker. This shift starts with the language that you use to describe your work. Instead of focusing on meetings and deliverables, focus instead on the transformative outcomes you're helping to achieve. Instead of presenting yourself as a contractor who's doing work, present yourself as a partner who's collaborating to achieve results. I know one consultant who tripled his fees overnight by changing his role from marketing consultant to growth acceleration partner. By changing just a few words, he completely shifted the way clients perceived his value and his right to premium pricing. Of course, shifting perceptions isn't just about changing a few words. To truly command top-tier fees, you need to deliver insights and experiences that go beyond the standard consulting playbook. Clients don't just want information from their consultants, they want aha moments, those flashes of insight that change the way they think about a problem. When you can constantly deliver those kind of light switch moments, you're no longer selling a service, you're selling a transformational experience. And that's the level where premium pricing becomes not just achievable, but almost inevitable. Think about the last time you had a real breakthrough in your business or life. Maybe it changed the way you thought about why a certain strategy wasn't working, or you had a flash of inspiration about a new direction you needed to pursue. Now, think about how much that insight would have been worth to you if you could buy it. Chances are that type of insight is almost priceless, whereas 20 minutes of someone's time could have a very limited price on it. Your ability to spark these insights in your client's mind is the difference between spinning your wheels and really taking off as a consultant. When you can reliably create these kind of aha moments, you can finally charge fees that reflect the value you provide. So, we've talked about the importance of shifting client perceptions and focusing on insight over information. But how do you actually communicate this value in a way that justifies premium pricing? That's where the power of framing comes in. Imagine you're browsing the pricing page for a software product. There are three tiers: basic, pro, and enterprise. The basic tier is limited but cheap. The enterprise tier is loaded with features but really expensive. Which option do you probably gravitate toward? If you're like most people, you probably lean toward the middle option. It feels like the best balance of value and affordability. This is an example of the framing effect in action. Our choices are heavily influenced by how information is presented to us. As a consultant, you can use this to your advantage by strategically presenting your services and fees. Instead of just quoting a flat rate, use a tiered structure that positions your desired fee as the sweet spot between bare bones and over the top. For example, you might offer a strategy package, an implementation package, and a partnership package, with the middle level being the level of service that you want to provide and the amount that you want to charge. By creating this framing around your pricing, you make your fee feel like a reasonable compromise, even when it might be a lot more than what the client is used to spending. Okay, so we've got some great ideas here on how to increase your fees, but the question is, how do you actually implement some of these changes into your fee structure, especially if you've been trapped at a certain level of pricing for a long time? If you do this properly, you can smoothly transition to a higher price point without losing your clients or your credibility. In order to increase your consulting fees, we need to reframe the conversation from "I'm charging more" to "I'm offering more." This means we need to focus on proactively communicating the added value and benefits that come along with the higher rate. Instead of just announcing your new price, schedule a value review meeting with every client to discuss how your services have evolved and the additional impact you're now positioned to provide. Come with specific examples so you can showcase how your ROI has significantly increased. During this conversation, it is crucial to project confidence and conviction in your value. If you seem apologetic or uncertain about the new price, that's going to come across and influence the perception on your client's side. If you can articulate your new value with clarity and conviction, you'll be amazed at how many clients just accept it without any pushback. For those who do resist, be prepared to stand firm in your new pricing while also offering a transition plan to ease the pressure. You might offer a one time discount for signing an extended contract or slowly phase in the new pricing over the course of a few months. The key is to focus on the long term value of the relationship rather than the short term discomfort of this conversation. Of course, raising your fee with existing clients is only half the battle. In order to truly sustain a higher price point, you also have to be able to pitch this new value to new clients. When you're used to charging a certain rate, it can be nerve-wracking to suddenly pitch a new client on a dramatically higher number. But the secret to pulling this off is all about how you frame the conversation from the very beginning. Instead of just jumping in and starting with your services or your pricing, begin by deeply exploring and understanding your client's needs. What's the transformation that they're trying to achieve? What would it be worth to them if they were able to get that? And as you go through this with them, there will be natural opportunities for you to share stories from other clients that you've worked with. When you do, focus not on the work you actually did together, but the results you were able to achieve. Focus on painting a picture of what success looks like and how you can help them get there. You should never present your fees until after you have firmly established this context of transformation and value. And even still, when you do, don't call them fees or your price. Talk about making an investment in that outcome that the client wants. Break down together the ROI of what it would look like to achieve that transformation they're looking for and show how your costs are nothing compared to how valuable this is going to be to them. By positioning your fees as an investment in a transformation rather than as a commodity to be haggled over, you will find that even premium prices feel like a bargain in the eyes of the right clients. By applying the principles and strategies we've covered in this video, you can not only raise your rates with confidence, you can also attract a whole new caliber of client who is eager to invest in your expertise at the highest level. And if you found this video helpful, please subscribe to the channel for more insights on how to elevate your consulting business and achieve your full potential as a thought leader and change catalyst.